Before we get started, I want to address something quite serious. After I put out my last video, day 2 of the badass coffee cart build, my wife told me that she hated me using the term Youngbloods in those first 2 videos. She said it sounded unnatural, and it made her feel, and I quote, ick. Well, she's usually not wrong about these things. So I decided for this video, I'm going to change things up and sound a little more natural. Good morrow to you, mademoiselles and gentle sires, and welcome to day 3 of the badass coffee cart build here at Bogsworks. We're going to start this video off with some bonus footage from the day 2 video, which I forgot to put in there for you Youngbloods. Here I have the laminated black walnut I'm using for the top of the cart. I took some measurements, cut the ends off. It's always good to realize your circular saw is out of square after you make your cut. So of course I had to fix the damn thing and then make another cut. This led to a Lemony Snicket situation, a series of unfortunate events. So once I got that dialed in, I was finally able to make a nice square cut. This was important because the plan involved adding vertical trim pieces on 3 sides of the tabletop. But I got it squared up, looking good. Of course, after making that mistake, I had to trim down the sides of the front piece of the cart, because it was now too short. Ugh. From there, I trimmed some black oak boards down to approximate size before milling them into 3 and 5-inch strips for the trim pieces for the tabletop with the table saw. I needed these pieces to be about 1 inch thick, so I set up the planer and ran them through. One of these days I need to build a dedicated planer table, because that thing is a pain in the anus trying to lug from the floor to the tabletop and back every single time I need to use it. It's like 1,000 pounds. Maybe that'll be one of my next videos. I wanted my front trim piece for the cart's tabletop to have a handle on it so that transporting it would be easier. Especially since it was made entirely of walnut, which is significantly heavier than the pine I used for most of the rest of the project. The piece I used for this was the only 5-inch wide piece in the whole build. After sketching out my design on the board, I got out the jigsaw and cut out the edge portion. After a quick touch-up on the belt sander I recently purchased from Harbor Freight, I went back and worked on cutting out the hole for the handle. This consisted of drilling 2 opposing holes with a Forstner bit, then finishing the holes with the jigsaw. After that, I used the router to route out a 1/4 inch round over inside the entire hole. The whole hole, if you will. Since I cut the lengths of my boards oversized to start, it was now time to head over to the miter saw and miter some 45s onto the ends of the trim pieces. Then it was on to everyone's favorite part of woodworking, sanding. Everybody loves sanding. Forever and into the night. With the trim for the tabletop done-ish, I moved on to the trim pieces for the rest of the cart, sanding, planing, and mitering them. Finally, cutting a 45 into the pieces that would be the corner trim where the front and side panels of the cart fit together. I put a chamfer on the exposed corners of everything. Chamfer? Damn near killed her! And then spent 74 years of that day doing more sanding. I finished the day off gluing the front and side panel trim pieces together with a really cool and fun technique I learned from another YouTuber. It's where you lay out the 2 opposing pieces 45 to 45 on a piece of painter's tape so the 45s meet in the middle, like a really long butt crack. Then you spread a little glue in the crevice of that butt crack and fold them together to make that 90-degree angle. Sorry, in the crevasse. Post haste, you clamp the piece up with more painter's tape and then just let her dry. And that's where I ended up after day 3. Like and share and follow if you would, young bloods.